Hello everyone, welcome back to our June 3rd board meeting, 6 p.m. session. Everyone is here. At approximately 8:30 p.m., the Board of Education will determine which of the remaining agenda items can be considered and acted upon prior to 9 p.m. and may continue all other items on which additional time is required until a future meeting. All meetings are scheduled to end no later than 9 p.m. Now, can we please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? Put your right hand over your heart. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, everyone. So now we will have our Ward 6 update from Councilmember Jim Perry. Thank you for joining us tonight.
All right. Thank you for having me, as always. Superintendent Mussolino, President Vega, Board of Trustees, staff, and everyone out in virtual land. Again, thank you for having me. A few of you may have heard me about 12 hours ago. It's going to be almost a duplication of what I reported earlier this morning at a chamber event. But a couple things that I want to hit on are several street projects. As you can tell, the Magnolia Whitening project is finally done, so you could actually travel on Magnolia between Buchanan and Banbury and not lose any of the fillings in your teeth. That's a good thing. Some projects that are coming up, and some of them are going to be around a few of the elementary schools. One of the next big road projects is going to be the resurfacing or the repaving of Indiana between La Sierra to Pierce, right there in front of Arinma Elementary School and Hillcrest High School. This one will go much quicker, it'll go much smoother. Magnolia had a lot of underground infrastructure that was changed out. This is going to be a straight paving project, so it should go rather quickly and with less trouble, and hopefully that will be starting here in the next couple months. A couple of the neighborhoods up behind Wells Middle School and Foothill, those neighborhoods, several of those are going to be repaved in the coming months. We are also adding an additional traffic signal at the intersection of Challen and Wells. So we've had a few accidents there in the past. So along that stretch of Wells where it affects Foothill and Wells Middle School, there's going to be an additional traffic light that we'll be able to put in there. That will probably be sometime next year. A few projects going on in the area. We're dealing with homeless issues. You think of the vacant gas station there at Magnolia and La Sierra. We have been in some litigation with that property owner, and through mediation, he had to make a number of improvements. One, he had to improve the lighting during the course of the evening. He had to do some landscaping, keeping the property clean. And probably the biggest issue is he had to remove the two large canopies that were out in front of the business. And those, if you've been by there in the last day or two, that work has been completed and those canopies are gone. I'm not sure if I've spoken about the Roadhouse Grill at the last couple of meetings. That's the one on Tyler. It's been vacant for these almost 2 years now. Wendy's, a more modern Wendy's is going to be going in there in the coming months. The Roadhouse Grill is actually going to be demoed to the ground, and we think we've talked the new owners into allowing our fire department to actually use it as a training scenario and actually burn the place down to the ground. So that's coming as well. The vacant Kmart site up at Van Buren and Arlington, that one continues as well. They need to get a couple of entitlements, a couple of permits. They're going to be before the Planning Commission later this month, and they hope to break ground on new construction later on this month. Again, they're looking at a Panda Express out front there where there's a vacant title building. Kmart is going to have 3 separate anchors in there. They have reached a deal with one of the more well-known supermarket chains that will be going in there. You know who it is. They just haven't released it publicly, and they have to be the first to do that. So hopefully I can do that perhaps in the coming month. Councilmember Hemingway, Mayor Lockdoss, and I, in the last 2 weeks, have had an opportunity to have a virtual meeting with Assembly Members Medina, Cervantes, and Senator Roth. And we spoke about our homeless issues that we experience here at the local level and mental health and the need for more mental health funding. So those discussions have started, and hopefully we'll be able to continue that and get some needed relief. We've been working with the county to enact Laura's Law. Laura's Law has been on the books for several years now. It's a program, in essence, that has to be administered at the county level. And basically, in summation, what it is, it's dealing with individuals who have a history of chronic mental health issues. And that's by way of hospitalizations, criminal history, threats, and violent behavior. And what that does is it allows them to get into the court system, and there could be court-ordered outpatient programs for those individuals that have mental health issues. Will it solve all of our homeless issues? No, but it will be another resource that all of our partners can use in trying to curb that issue. Other than that, we continue to deal, our biggest probably homeless encampment area that we're dealing with right now is along the railroad tracks underneath the La Sierra Bridge. There's rather large encampment down there right now. It's on Caltrans property, and we're trying to coordinate with Caltrans to do a cleanup there as well. A couple things coming here in the next month. 4th of July is just a few weeks away. We didn't have fireworks last year. This year, the city is sponsoring 2 fireworks events. We're not going up on Mount Rubidoux this year, but there will be a fireworks show on Magnolia Park, which is down at the base of Mount Rubidoux, and we'll be bringing a fireworks show once again out to La Sierra Park, and it's probably been 4 or 5 years since we've had a fireworks show there. So other than that, that's all I have for this evening. And as always, if there's anything that I can do for you, please reach out. We'll be glad to help you out. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Councilmember Jim Perry. And unfortunately, Councilmember Steve Hemingway cannot make it tonight. He is now part of a working group with Mayor Locke Dawson and Councilmember Aaron Edwards to put the river back in Riverside. So let's see what comes of that. But as always, if there's any questions, you can always feel free to reach out to our office or Ward 7 office. So thank you. And so now I'll pass it along to our District 1 update, Mayor Jackie Casillas. Thank you for being here.
Hi, everyone. I'm so happy to be with you. I have quite a few things, good news updates to share. And so let's just jump right in. We just passed the city budget for the next fiscal year, and I'm happy to report that the increased funds from Measure X are going to go, a majority of that is going to go into our public-facing space, like parks and recreation, and services directly into the community. So I'm really, really proud of this year's budget. If you'd like to know the breakdown, please go on our website or give me a ring, and I'd love to chat and get really, really wonky about it. But just know that it's you're going to be seeing a difference in the community. Just like Councilmember Perry mentioned, fireworks. Last year we didn't have an official 4th of July fireworks show. And all of my neighbors and all of our neighbors decided to put one on themselves. And so we had a lot of illegal fireworks in the city of Corona. This year we have the 4th of July parade back on at 9 a.m. on Main Street. And then starting at 5 o'clock at Santana Park is our 4th of July celebration with fireworks going off at 9 p.m. In tandem, we have agreed to up our fines and be in line with Riverside County. So safe and sane fireworks, those are the ones that, you know, are small and like little fountain fireworks. That fine went up from $500 to $1,000. And the, you know, big fireworks like the M80s and the rockets that go up into the air, those went up from $1,000 to a $5,000 fine. We have updated the way you can report these fireworks so that if you capture a photograph or some more evidence for our police officers, we can issue more citations. And so we're making it easier for folks to be held accountable. This is very dangerous to use illegal fireworks in our community, especially when there's a really great show that's going to be public and available to everyone. So we're really trying to abate the illegal fireworks this year. So keep an eye out for that, and please join us in sharing when there are illegal fireworks in your neighborhood. Also coming up with right after the 4th of July parade, We start our summer concert series. That's going to be back on Thursdays. Summer concerts in the lawn, in the green, in between the Historic Civic Center and the City Hall lawn. New this year, a summer night market at the Circle City Center on Main Street next to Metro and Main. That will be bi-weekly on Monday nights, 5 to 8 p.m., June 14th. And we have a lot of really cool vendors who are interested in participating. Honestly, it's an embarrassment of riches. So we've got a lot of great vendors who will be there. We have the State of the City coming up on June 24th. There's still a few tickets available, but don't worry if you can't make it there in person. We will release it. It will be a virtual video as well. Last two things. We recently voted on a 5-year urban forest plan to reinvigorate and really just refocus on our urban forest here in the city of Corona. Little known fact, we actually are missing 14,000 trees in the city of Corona. There are wells and spots that should have trees and they have not been replaced or planted. And so we really want to create a sense of place in the city of Corona. We want more trees. It's good for our environment. It's good for your home value. It's good for the climate. And it just looks beautiful when we have trees in the city of Corona. So we have a 5-year plan to replenish those 14,000 trees. We also have a 5-year urban forest maintenance plan to ensure that every tree in the city of Corona is being trimmed within 5 years. The palm trees will continue to be in the 1-year cycle. And lastly, we just brought on a graffiti abatement program. So right now, our graffiti is taking us an average of 12 days to abate, and we want it to be down to 24 to 48 hours. So we are bringing it down 24 to 48 hours. We have contracted out with and just put more hands on deck and invested more into graffiti abatement. And so what we need from you is to please download the app See-Click-Fix and help us spot the graffiti around town. That's one word, See-Click, well, it's 3 words, but they're all meshed together. See-Click-Fix. And it looks like a heart with a wrench in it. And whenever you see anything around town that needs to be addressed, especially graffiti, take a picture of it, send it in right away, and we'll get on it. So that's it for me.
Thank you so much, Mayor Casillas. We've missed you around here. It's nice to hear all those updates, wonderful things that Corona's doing. Thank you. So now we'll move on to public comment. As authorized by Governor Newsom's Executive Order N-2920, dated March 17, 2020, the Alvord Unified School District will conduct all meetings of the Governing Board via teleconference until further notice. The meetings will be conducted via Zoom. Spanish simultaneous interpretation is available via the Zoom platform. All meetings may also be viewed live on our district YouTube channel on the day of the meeting and are recorded to be viewed subsequently after the meeting. Pursuant to Executive Order N-2920, the Governing Board will take public comment. All public comments must be submitted in writing in advance of the meeting. Please submit your written public comments to superintendent@alvordschools.org no later than 9 a.m. on June 3rd, 2021. During the Governing Board meeting, written public comments received in a timely manner will be read for the Governing Board. Pursuant to Board Bylaw 9323, public comment period will be limited to 20 minutes. Duplicate public comments will not be read during the meeting. However, all written public comments will be provided to the Governing Board in advance of the meeting. Dr. Mazzarino, at this time, do we have any public comments?
Yes, thank you, Madam President. I do have one, and I am happy to read it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good evening. My name is Carolyn Brodeur, and I am an Alvord teacher. I would like to take this opportunity to commend an outstanding colleague. Her name is Mrs. Karen Pauley, and she is a kindergarten teacher at Promenade Elementary. Public recognition for Mrs. Pauley is long overdue. Because this year has been especially heartbreaking for her, I decided that now more than ever is the perfect time to share why Mrs. Pauley is an amazing teacher and colleague. Mrs. Pauley is one of the best teachers I have ever known. I actually have had the privilege of watching her teach on multiple occasions. She is the consummate kindergarten teacher, nurturing, patient, firm, and passionate about getting all students to realize their unlimited potential. She sets high expectations for her students, and they consistently rise to the occasion. In addition, Mrs. Pauly is a terrific grade level leader. With her humility, she creates an environment such that others feel comfortable asking for help. She also spends a great deal of her own personal time designing materials that make her teammates' jobs easier. Finally, Mrs. Pauly has an incredible work ethic. Despite experiencing the greatest possible personal tragedy this year, she still managed to give 200% to her students. This is typical of her. She works long past her contract day, making sure her lessons are well planned and that she has promptly communicated with parents about their children's progress. I hope you can see why it is truly an honor to work with Mrs. Karen Pauly. Carolyn Brodeur, kindergarten teacher, Promenade Elementary School.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Dr. Masrino, for reading that for us. That was great. Moving on to our Riverside's 25 most remarkable teens for 2021, which were recognized at the city level, picked by the Riverside Youth Council and the mayor's office. But we wanted to recognize them here tonight. So we'll start off with our first teen from Hillcrest High School, Shada. So who is speaking on behalf, or who's speaking?
I will be speaking on behalf.
Mr. Garnett.
Awesome.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Are you sure? Can you hear me? I just like to keep saying it 15 times. The kids don't respond, and neither did you. Yay! All right. Ladies and gentlemen, board members, Superintendent Musarino, and all, thank you for having me. And Victoria, I love seeing you too, by the way. I often sit down and write all these speeches because I'm used to it from that old job I had. And I sat down and wrote about Shada, and then I wrote about her again, and I threw it away, and I wrote about her again. And I realized, like, I could spend all day writing about every accomplishment she's had, everything she's done, every kid she's affected, everything. And I'll put it best this way. At the end of this year, a lot of us teachers are sitting around right now reflecting on the wonderfulness of what we've been through. And a lot of us have honestly asked ourselves, why? Why continue doing what we do? And I can tell you, one of the reasons I get out of bed, one of the reasons I teach, one of the reasons I spend all those extra hours at school are kids like Shada. Shada is just one of those magical kids that reminds me why we do what we do as teachers. I often tell teachers in all my wonderful speeches I've given throughout the years is, we could truly save lives. We can get kids off the street, we can get them fed, we can make their worlds better, and at least they're safe from 7:30 to 2:30 every single day. But within that time, what kids do with it and how they can change themselves in the world is what really keeps us fed, feeds the soul, as that book would say. And Shada's one of those kids that just feeds my soul. Both Ms. Hall and I think on numerous occasions, will walk out just amazed at the things she's done, the woman she's become, and how literally neither one of us can say no to her because that's the kind of amazing kid she is. And oftentimes, we don't often thank the kids for what they give back to us, but I'm taking today, this board meeting, and all these wonderful faces whose cameras are actually on to tell you, Shada, thank you, because you've made my world better, and you're going to make my last 10 years, yes, 10 years, I'm counting them down, just a little bit better and helped get me through a year that I often wondered, how many blank screens I could stare at, but your one screen being on is what made my day better. So, Shada, top 25, I think you're number one, but I'm biased. But presenting Shada to you from Hillcrest High School, and I can tell you every teacher she's had has nothing but positive things to say, and I truly think she'll be one of those ones we'll see on TV when they change the world.
Amazing. Congratulations, Shada. Would you like to say a few words?
I mean, I don't even know how to come back from that. That was like, I kind of teared up a bit because, you know, Ms. Hall and Mr. Garnett, like, they've been like one of the most accepting teachers like I've ever had in like in my high school, middle school, elementary school like career. Like it was so easy to be who I am and to like help like student. I might help my peers out, help them out because they just made my job as a student so easy. Like helping with BSU and helping with Greatness Within. It was never a chore for me. It was always something I enjoyed doing. I enjoyed always working with Miss Hall and Mr. Garnett, even through my pep squad or other events that I'm like, the tons of events like he's mentioned that I'm in. It's, yeah, top 25 is kind of weird for me. I didn't expect this to come out of all the work that I've done, but you know, it's only the beginning. I always like to say, so trying to keep myself humble through all of this too. So yeah, thank you guys.
Well, you deserve this recognition and more. So thank you for being you. You truly are remarkable. If no one else wants to say anything, I will move on to our next student from La Sierra High School, Steve.
And Madam President, we have our esteemed Assistant Principal, Brad Lyle, presenting this evening.
Okay, awesome. And
Good evening. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for this time, this opportunity to recognize such an amazing student. And I'm here on behalf of Ms. Thompson, who made the initial recommendation. And before I read what she had to say, I want to say the way I know Steve is through he voluntarily came to our ELAC meetings as a participant, not for extra credit, not for to look good on transcripts, but because he for colleges he wanted to have a better place for kids, specifically EL kids. And, you know, it started out quiet, you know, having kids on the panel or in the committee. And the first voice I heard was him talking about, have we thought about, right? Or what about when kids need, or they're really struggling with, or when I talk to them. And it was just for a kid to be so concerned about others, so concerned about making La Sierra a better place is why I think he so deserves this top 25. And not knowing him from anyone before those meetings, you could instantly see that this is someone that cares and is going to be watching out and taking care of and leading people for the rest of their life. And when I think about kids, that's what I want for my kids, right? And that's what I want for the kids that I teach and work with. And here he is as a living example of that. So that's my portion. So Steve, you're amazing. This is what Ms. Thompson had to say. Stephen Deros de Leon is an exemplary student who rose to the challenge of leadership in the HOSA, Health Occupation Students of America, chapter at La Sierra High School. A chapter president, he organized meetings and coordinated the work of others to accomplish chapter goals, such as HOSA Week and attendance at the virtual state leadership conference. Like many others, he had to learn and navigate a virtual world and engage his fellow students in these unique times. He has shown a great determination towards his collegiate goals and representing his views with dignity and honor for both his culture and his future. It was a pleasure to recommend him for this honor. And I would say anyone that's ever worked or met with Steve wouldn't question that one bit. It has been a pleasure and an honor to be a part of his academic career, and I can't wait to see the amazing things that will happen in his future.
Amazing. I'm not sure if he is here tonight. I don't see him on our Zoom, but I just want to say congratulations, and that's amazing. When you said he wasn't doing it for the for college applications, I was surprised. Well, everything that I did was to look good on paper, right? But no, really cares about, you know, others, and that's what matters, and also makes him very remarkable. So thank you for being here tonight and sharing a little bit about him. Now I'm going to, I guess I'll move on to Vivian Shepard from Norte Vista High School.
Hi,
Yes,
can you hear me?
Madam President, and we have Mrs. Bush back to talk about Vivian. So, Mandy, take it from there.
It is my esteemed honor to talk about Vivian. I've been lucky enough to have Vivian in my global leadership class. Next year will be 3 years. And so she is definitely one of those people who is involved in everything and does everything with such eloquence and kindness that she is definitely wise beyond her years. So in addition to being our global leadership program, and she is the leader of our program, we work hand in hand, shoulder to shoulder, as much as we possibly can. She's also a full diploma IB student. She's in the marching band. She's in the Interact Club, Junior Optimist Club, National Honor Society. She also sits on the Chief of Police Committee. She is not only a very driven student, but is a student that sees opportunities and how the world can be, not necessarily how it currently is, and is willing to put in the work in order to make other people's lives better. She's a great older sister, and she just learned how to drive, which is fantastic. But she's helped our homeless population. She organizes our food drives, and just recently, our most recent project that we had spoken about was the Tiny Pantry Project that we've been doing with the city, and President Vega got to come when we put our pantry in, and she'll have a little announcement in just a second when she speaks. But that has gone extremely well. We have so many projects going on. If you check our service learning page, Vivian has a hand in probably all of them. And if you ever see her in our classroom, she is but a whisper of a student. You'll see her 1 second, and she's gone the next. I think in 2 hours, she amasses about 3,500 steps just from organizing and leading. And she's definitely a student that leads by example. And at such a young age, she aspires to go to law school, and I cannot wait to see the justice that she will bring to our community. And I'm so happy and proud to work with her each and every day. So this is an honor that I was proud to nominate her for, and I'm just excited to see a junior to receive this award. That doesn't happen very often. And she is just a stellar human being and student. So I'm very proud, very, very proud of her, and happy to celebrate her here today.
Amazing. Thank you, Ms. Bush, for sharing. Wow. I thought I had a full plate, but it looks like Vivian has a lot of full plates, and she's handling it very nicely. We're all proud of you, Vivian. If you want to share a few words, I'm kind of curious to see what you have to announce.
Well, first, thank you, Ms. Bush, and thank you for everyone having me. Ms. Bush is amazing, as I'm sure you guys all know. She's everything under the moon to make our campus like an opportunity for kids to feel at home and like they can make a real impact. You come with her to an idea, and she'll find a way to make it possible. But she was speaking about our tiny pantry, which is one of our new projects that I'm really proud of. We did it all by ourselves. We built it, we installed it, we did the grants to get the funding for it, for the food inside. But I wanted to see if the board, if I could challenge them to try and fill the pantry at least once over the summer. You can drop it off in our main office. We actually just got the okay. We're going to expand to elementary school as well at our Lanza over this summer. So we're growing, and I just wanted to see if you guys would join me to try to maintain the food supply throughout the summer and not just during, holiday season when I think more people are interested in giving. Thank you so much, and I hope that you guys fulfill that challenge.
Vivian, this is Carolyn, Mrs. Wilson, and we accept that challenge. Alvord Cares accepts that challenge, and we would be more than happy to partner with you to make sure that your pantries are full. Every time you just contact us, and we will make sure that we have food in your pantries for you. I'll just need a list of what you'd like, and it would be our pleasure. Absolutely, 100% on behalf of the Board of Education, it done for you. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Thank you, Ms. Wilson. Ms. Wilson's also amazing too. I love her.
I feel the same way about you, sweetheart. I can't wait to see the wonderful things you're going to do in this world. I just can't wait. We're there for you, sweetie.
Yes, thank you, Trustee Wilson. Yes, we are here to serve our community. So any way that we can help, we would love to do that. And again, congratulations, Vivian. Very remarkable team. And now for our last student, but last but not least, Allison from La Sierra High School. and presenting will be Victoria.
Hi, welcome everybody this evening. It is my absolute pleasure to introduce Allison Fishing to you. I have to say that I have a quote hanging in my office by Mother Teresa. It says, "We are not called to be successful, we are called to be faithful." And for some reason, that quote kept coming back to me when I was trying to think, there's so much to say about this young woman, what will I say? And I will tell you that she is faithful in every area of her life. I've known her for the last 3.5 years, and she's one of the top students I've ever worked with. This young woman is faithful and devoted to her faith. She lives that faith out in a quiet manner every single day. She's kind, she's helpful, she jumps in where there's a need. She'll always ask, how can I serve? What can I do? She's very devoted to her faith, and like St. Augustine says, preach the gospel at all times, and if necessary, use words. And I think that would be Allison. Allison's also faithful to her family. She's a very devoted daughter and loves her family, and they've had lots of challenges in this last 3.5 years, and her father passed away at the beginning of this year, and this young woman was his caretaker in the last few months of his life. And despite going through that very painful period, Allison was able to maintain her grades. She's just remarkable and resilient. Allison is faithful to her community. She does volunteer work at Orinma Elementary School, where she helps teachers and students, tutoring. She also works at her church and does volunteer work. And finally, Allison is faithful to the community of La Sierra High School. She is the second-year editor-in-chief for the yearbook, The Sunrise. Last year, when she took over as editor, I was amazed at what, under Allison's leadership, what those group of students were able to accomplish. They just produced this beautiful yearbook. It's like a work of art. It's just remarkable. And I believe she's right now putting the finishing touches on the La Sierra yearbook. She's president of the College Club. The College Club was defunct, but all I had to say was a few words like, Allison, would you mind? Oh, she just jumped right in and with some other friends took over the College Club. And I can honestly say now that every other week there are several kids who attend that club. They learn about colleges, A through G, how to study for an AP exam. They do tutoring. Once again, she's remarkable. She's the historian of the California Scholarship Federation. Did I mention that she's in the National Honor Society? She's, of course, a valedictorian. And she won an award from the English department for exemplary writing. And she was the only junior last year to earn a 5 on her AP Lit exam. But lest you think that Allison is some kind of grind, she also won an award for the most MVP for golf and a Scholar Athlete Award for also golf once again. What I love the most about Allison, as I said before, she is so very faithful, and that's why she's successful. She's so much more than grades or accolades. And sometimes when I hear people talk about young people like, oh, they're just so self-centered, what are we going to do? I just think, oh, you just wait till you meet Allison Fishing. I know that she's going to be successful and, more importantly, faithful to whatever she decides. It is my absolute pleasure and delight, and she really is one of Riverside's 25 most remarkable teens. I give to you Allison Fishing.
Oh my goodness, beautifully said. I'm not crying, everyone else is crying, that's not me. Amazing. We really do, like you said, we have remarkable teens here, and I know we have more. We are so proud of you, Allison, and if you'd like to share a few words, please feel free.
I would just first like to say thank you to Ms. Anderson for even considering to nominate me for such an incredible opportunity. I'm so thankful to have gotten to have her as my counselor over these 4 years. It was very difficult. Sorry, I'm going to cry. It was very difficult during my freshman year. I lost my sister unexpectedly. And then 6 months after that, my dad got cancer and it was terminal. So it was very difficult for me. But
Ms. Anderson and teachers and faculty members of the La Sierra community really helped me and strengthened me, and I was able to find optimism in my trials. And I'm so incredibly thankful that they were able to push me, and I was able to, find pleasures in my weaknesses. And just once again, thank you for just this incredible opportunity. I'm very honored to be here among all of you tonight. So yeah, just thank you so much.
Congratulations. It's an honor to have you here, and so proud of you for being as strong, as resilient as you are. Really excited to see where what your future holds. And okay, so we have amazing students here tonight, remarkable teens, and I know we have so much more in our district, so I hope that this encourages other teachers or counselors or staff to nominate for next year, because I know I want to show up more of our Alvord students. This year we had 4, but I know we can do much more. Thank you everyone for being here tonight, everyone who spoke about the students, and thank you students for being here. We're so proud of you. And if any of the board members would like to say anything, or superintendent, please feel free.
Oh, I just want to say wow, and I'm going to just leave it at that.
All right then. So that leads us to our board comments, our board and superintendent comments, and I'll start off with Trustee Wilson.
Well, thank you very much, President Vega. And I'm going to start out with saying congratulations again to the 25 most remarkable teens. You all have come from such different walks of life, and you have come from, and your gifts are so grand, and you are going to make such a difference in this world. I'm so excited for all of you. The challenges that you have come and that you've conquered already in just a short time of 4 years in high school, and for Vivian, 3 years in high school. You have one more. It's just amazing. I'm humbled and I'm honored, and our Alvord family is so proud of you students, because you truly are the future of our world. And I know you're going to make a difference, because look at those big, bright, beautiful smiles. They're looking back at me. I can't wait when we're in person, and I hope that one day we are very soon, and we can all come together once more and congratulate you and celebrate this wonderful event and this wonderful recognition of yours, because you deserve this in person from each and every one of us in your Alvord family. So keep this wonderful momentum going and keep this faith, as Victoria says, because this is what's going to get you through in life. You guys are amazing, amazing students, and we are so very, very proud of you. So with that, I'm going to go on, but that's my biggest, I'm just so excited for you. I'm so excited for you. And then I would also like to thank Kevin and Andy and their entire staff for the graduations this year. If we ever had to promote graduation, it was this year, and you guys did it incredibly. It was like we were rock stars in a stadium at a concert with the big screens and everything else. These students, these seniors, they deserve that recognition. They deserve that honor to walk across that stage and receive their diploma. So I know you guys worked tirelessly at this, and I'm so proud of you, and it was just amazing. And I know that a lot of people aren't privy to this, but I'm going to share a little secret about the board members, because it's always a special time for us. We enjoy being together all the time anyways, but this is a fun time. We're celebrating, and we haven't seen a lot of each other, even though we meet a lot. It's all in Zoom. So after this was the best part of it. We had a wonderful week, but after the last graduation, the board members were standing on the stage, getting ready to say goodbye, and I don't think really any one of us really wanted to leave. We kind of wanted to hang out and kind of keep talking, even Lizette, because Lizette's always the first one to say, I'm out of here, But even Lizette was there, and so all of a sudden, just impromptu, this song came on, and the little DJ cranked it up really loud, and it was "Let's Get This Started," that song, And Julie Moreno and Dr. Musarino, they both broke into dance. Well, of course, with my camera, I just had my camera, and I captured the moment. But not only did they start dancing together, President Vega danced with Trustee Schwant, and then Dr. Dorado was dancing with Councilman Hemingway. It was phenomenal. So it was the perfect ending to an incredible week that we were so excited to, graduate all these students in person. So I just want to thank everybody involved and thank my fellow board members for ending it that way, because it just was the caveat to the ending of the year. We needed this, and our students needed this, and it was wonderful. And again, to all of our teachers, staffs, and students and administrators, we know what we've asked of you this year. So with that, please go and have a wonderful summer together. Be with your families, rest, relax, enjoy, have fun. And guess what? We're all going to be back here in August to do it all over again, and we'll be in person, loving on each other like we should be. So with that, have a wonderful summer, everybody. We'll still be at work, but you guys go and have a wonderful summer, and we'll cheering you on and watching you on Facebook being in Hawaii and things like that. So, all right, thanks so much. Those are my comments for this evening.
Thank you, Trustee Wilson, for sharing all our secrets about the ending.
I had to. It makes us human. It's awesome. You're lucky I didn't show the video, because I was going to do that.
I have videos too of you as well dancing. So thank you for sharing, and we'll take to Trustee Schwant.
Thank you. Well, first off, I put a disclaimer in there. Carolyn, you were very gracious saying that I was dancing. I was kind of moving, but that's about all I can do.
You were dancing. I have it on video. I even showed your wife. You were dancing.
All right. All right. Thank you. Well, just to touch on the graduation, since we were talking about it, our job is to make sure that we do the best we can for our students in this school district. And that has to do with the academics. It has to do with athletics. It has to do with musical, BAPA, different parts of the curriculum that are out there. And one of them has to do with the social aspect, where proms and midwinters, graduations, and all the stuff that comes along with that. And we weren't able to deliver all that because of the COVID restrictions, but we made the call a little bit early on graduation saying, we're going to do this. We might not get everybody there, but we're going to do it. And as it turned out, they eased up a little bit. And I think most people got their attendees there that they wanted. So we were very happy and very proud to be a part of you, seniors of 2021, able to have a graduation ceremony live. So it was very, very good. The remarkable teens, 25 remarkable teens, we had 4 of those. Shada, Steve, Allison, Vivian, congratulations once again. I can't say any more than what's already been said, but I would like to make a note to Errol, Brad, Amanda, and Victoria. Your discussions about them, your talk about them, they know that you care. And when students know that you care, they really get invested into the school. So thanks for what you're doing at your schools to help these students, because it does make a difference. And that's why we do have 25 most remarkable teens and 4 representatives for that within the district. So thank you again for what you're doing to help our students. The other one I wanted to bring up has to do with, I touched on athletics a little bit, but when you think about it, we probably have when you get to the high school, about 35% of the seniors or high schoolers are involved in athletics. Huge number. And we talked about last meeting, we have all of the schools have at least one team going to CIF. Whether it's soccer at North Vista, it's baseball at La Sierra, basketball at Hillcrest, and there's others that I'm sure that are in there. But well represented, again, from our district out into the community. So thanks for the athletics and what's going on there. The last part I touch on is it doesn't just stop when the school year ends. We have 800 to 1,200 students that are going to summer school this year. A large amount, and it's to help with some of the credit recovery, and it's going to be help to getting a kickstart for next year. But it's part of what we wanted to do as a school district to help our students get ahead and get caught up where needed. So it was our commitment to you to help do that. And so it's going to be an exciting summer, and we'll come back in August ready to go. So Lizette, thank you very much.
Of course, thank you for that. I was waiting for a joke somewhere, but to end off the year, how about it?
Okay, I'll tell you. Now the cabinet already heard this earlier, but I'll get to the rest of you. Why did Goofy wear 2 pair of pants when he went golfing? Now wait, we have a golfer. I heard, was it Vivian the golfer? Who was the golfer? Allison?
It's Allison, yes.
Allison, you should know this one. Because someone told him he might get a hole-in-one.
I laughed 3 times today at that joke. I love them dad jokes. So
There's Allison. Have you ever had a hole-in-one, Allison?
I have not.
I haven't either. I keep trying. Thank you.
you'll get there someday, just so you know. Thank you for sharing. I will now, let's see, Trustee Morneau.
Thank you so much, President Vega. My colleagues have done an amazing job incorporating all the fun events that happened in this last 2 weeks since we've last met. I would like to extend my sincerest congratulations to our honorees this evening with the 25 most remarkable teams. And I hope that each and every one of you really understand what a huge honor that is. It's not just something that's here in Riverside, it's all the way across the country. And you are amazing, and we are blessed that we have you here in Alvord. Continue to go on and do amazing things, and always remember to come back and serve. If President Vega is an example of exactly what I'm about to tell you all, and Dr. Dorado as well, and Trustee Schwant, homegrown, all of us homegrown, go out, conquer the world, enjoy life, and come back to your family here at Alvord. We will be waiting to see all of the many wonderful things that you're going to do, but I encourage you to extend the hand to those who are coming up in our district and lead by example by showing them that you can mentor and give back to them, because they're going to have lots of questions, just as I'm sure many of you did in the very beginnings. But congratulations to each and every one of you. We are extremely proud of you. Enjoy the honor and make us proud every single day as you go on. Vivian, we have you one more year. And we are super excited to partner with you, as Trustee Wilson had shared. What an exciting thing to even be asked to partner. So thank you so much for that invitation. We gladly accept. I would also like to congratulate the expert level Project to Inspire graduates that we just had. And we had our first graduating class earlier on in, I think, late April, early May. And these particular parents who participated in the CABE Level 2 Project Inspire, they are the trainers of the trainers. So that means next year, these very parents will be teaching and helping other parents to learn more. So just congratulations to them. I apologize I wasn't able to attend the graduations, but I am so very proud of you. Continue to, again, just like our remarkable teams, lead by example and show your children how interested you are in their education. And lastly, I have to just say thank you to the entire Alvord Unified School District staff at every single site, district level, everywhere. Thank you for your dedication to our students and their families. This last year and a half hasn't been the easiest, but you wouldn't know it by how professional, dedicated, loving, and giving each and every one of you have been, regardless of where it is that you work inside of our family. You have all just embraced and continued to allow our students to have a platform to thrive. So I thank each and every single one of you for your hard work and your dedication. I'm looking forward to a year ahead where we can be back together with the wisdom of everything that we just learned in this last year. We're going to continue to go forward, onward, and upward to do great things for our students. And as Trustee Wilson said, to Mr. Emenaker and to Mr. Cruz and your entire team, because it takes a village to make these graduations happen. You made it look easy. And I thank you from the bottom of my heart, because our students deserve to have that memory with their families. So thank you for the live broadcast. Thank you to Riverside TV in partnership. You made dreams come true, and it didn't go unnoticed. So thank you so much. And on that, congratulations to the class of 2021.
Thank you, Trustee Moreno. Now to Trustee Dorado.
Thank you, President Vega. So I want to start this evening by saying from the bottom of my heart how remarkable it is to be here with the finest. 25 of the most remarkable teens are in our district and in our community. And I know very well that these young individuals will one day come back to their community. Like Trustee Moreno said, they will. They're leaders, and and we're just lucky to have them. I'm just so blessed and happy to have them in our community because I know they'll be coming back to our community one day and giving back, and that will have a trickle down effect. It will ripple throughout our community. So I'm so grateful. And with that, I want to say that really the end of the year is a culminating story of what has been happening all year. We as educators, we touch lives, we devote. It was a real struggle this year. It was hard for many individuals, but it is a culminating story of what it means to be a staff member, an administrator, a custodian, someone that's devoted to our students, and how remarkable that they will become at the end of the year. So when I attended the graduations, I just felt like the end of the story had remarkably been, it was so remarkable to be part of that celebration. Like we had a celebration to finally say, hey, we all did it. Pat on your back. Because I know there's APs. I know Kevin had a lot to do with but logistically we have APs, administrators, staff, counselors that read names. These graduations take a whole community of educators, staff, and administrators to put together. And I want to tell you, they were remarkable. So I don't know if I hyped them up too much, but going into it, I knew that this was going to be great. And it was. It really felt like we were in a concert. We had big screens. I just thought they were really the best graduations ever. And I know our class of 2021 really deserved it. And I hope parents in the audience felt, hopefully, we honored their students because, they're here from K to 12. A lot was taken away this past year. So having said that, I really hope that our teachers, our staff, anybody taking their summer off, please enjoy it with their family members. Take that vacation that you didn't take last summer. Have leisure time. Enjoy your family because, like Allison said, some of us have been touched by losses and we've lost important people in our lives. And this was not a easy experience for a lot of us. And Allison, thank you so much for sharing that with us because as you said it and been brave to say that today, I know that a lot of our community has been touched by a loss or real struggles this past year and a half. And then with that, I think I'd like to just say we'll see you back after August, and you can take it and please. That I think, that sums up what I wanted to say. Thank you, President Vega.
Thank you, Trustee Dorado. So everyone pretty much said everything already. So now on to, I'm just kidding. I was in a meeting with city staff here at City Hall, and we were talking about Alvord. And what was the first thing that came to mind when I talked to people about Alvord, or what do I think? And I said, you know what, the first thing that comes to mind is community outreach. It's that we are here for each other, and not only do we have to deal with our own obstacles, our own challenges, our own difficulties in life, but we're using that to help others as well that are going through the same thing. And I heard it many times here today from our students, from everyone talking about our students, and I'm so proud of us for being Alvord, for being that Alvord family. And I'm so glad that we got to celebrate that at the end with at least graduations. And again, thank you, Kevin. That it was amazing, and everybody who took part in that. But now you gotta outdo yourself next year. I'm kind of curious to see how next year is. I kind of joked about riding in with horses. And then next time, who knows it? But we'll see. So, but thank you for that. And yeah, it ends the year so beautifully, and we got to have fun, and we were just so relaxed at the end. We weren't on screens, you know, just to be free and out and talking to people and seeing everyone's face and hearing parents and families just screaming the students' names and hearing the speeches as well. Oh my goodness, I almost cried several times because of everything that the students had gone through, and you know, it's hard to believe, but it's happened not just to them, but to a lot of people. So I'm very happy that we got to finish strong, and now we get to enjoy summer. I mean, unless you're taking summer school, then I'm sorry. But if try to take, like Dr. Dorada said, leisure time, take time for yourself, and we'll see you back next school year. And now on to Superintendent Ms. Reina.
Thank you, Madam President, and my fellow governance team members. As always, thank you for speaking from the heart. Mr. Lyle, Ms. Anderson, Ms. Bush, Mr. Garnett, who I think has left us. I think your presentations really embodied everything that we are about as an organization. You said it all, and with a passion and the time it took to prepare. And the students, the first thing you did was thank them. That was the first thing that came to mind, was thanks and how humbled you were. And that says a lot about you as well. Allison, overcoming grief, and again, I know Shada, Vivian, Steve is not here, but again, all of you had to endure a last year and a half that was unimaginable. And you did it, and you're remarkable. And we know this city is a lot of schools, a big place, big city, 25. That's big time. And when I hear you talking about what it is that you're about, it's all about service. And I hope that what we do as servant leaders, as those responsible for keeping this district moving in a positive direction to serve you, that we are the role models that you seek and that you look up to. I know your teachers certainly are, your administrators certainly are, your parents certainly are, but we all were humbled this year. We all realized there was a lot we all had taken for granted. And I think we have woken up, and I believe that the spontaneous dance scene that Trustee Wilson was talking about, I don't know what she's talking about, but whatever it was that she was describing, that was a collective breath, because it was really the first time that we got to breathe, because we wanted so bad to give our students something to remember this year by, other than living through a crisis, which in itself is something, upon reflection, that you all will have grown tremendously by, but that's certainly nothing we'd wish on anybody. So again, thank you all for representing all the students in Alvord, and thank you to our administrators, counselors, and teachers tonight for also representing Alvord. Kevin, you've gotten a lot of love, and Andy as well, and you deserve it. Great performances there by putting on our last graduation ceremonies, setting it up. Our teams, incredible job. Cabinet, great work supporting our principals and all the staff. And I saw the pantry, Miss Bush, the other day when I stopped by, and yeah, we're all over that. So wonderful service in our community. So again, I'm humbled to be part of it. And Madam President, thank you for the opportunity to say a few words. And thank you again, everyone, for everything you did to make this year happen, and happen well. Because I do believe that overall, given the circumstances, that it has gone well.
Thank you, Dr. Mussolino, and the rest of the board for your comments. I feel like I should just end the meeting now. That's all. Great way to end it. Well, I'm kidding. So this brings us to our next part of the meeting, which is our consent agenda. Your superintendent recommends approval of consent agenda items 8A1 through 8E2. All items listed under the consent agenda are considered by the board to be routine and will be enacted upon by the board in one motion. There will be no discussion of these items prior to the time the board votes on the motion unless members of the board request specific items to be discussed and or removed from the consent agenda. Are there any items from the board? Okay, and then in that case, may I have a motion?
So moved.
Moved by trustee Wilson, second trustee Schwant. Any discussion? Go to vote. Trustee Wilson.
Aye.
Trustee Schwant.
Aye.
Trustee Moreno.
Aye.
Trustee Dorado.
Aye.
And myself is an aye. Consent passes. Moving on to action items. Report out any actions taken in closed session. Do we have anything to report out? Trustee Moreno.
We do not, President Vega.
Okay, thank you. Then move on to Board of Education Superintendent. Consideration of an action on amendment to Superintendent's Employment Agreement. Effective June 15, 2018, the district entered into an employment agreement with the superintendent. Under the employment agreement, the superintendent was employed through June 15, 2022. The superintendent is required to render 224 days of service to the district. The superintendent's non-work days consist of holidays and 22 additional non-work days. The superintendent may accrue up to 22 non-work days, and if he exceeds this maximum, he may elect to be paid for up to 10 of the accrued non-work days. Yes. The employment agreement is set a starting salary for the 2018-2019 school year of $260,000 and provided for 3% raises each subsequent year. The employment agreement also provides the superintendent with medical, dental, and vision benefits, a life insurance policy, a cellular telephone, and a computer at no cost to the superintendent. Additionally, the employment contract calls for the reimbursement of mileage traveled outside of the district and lodging when required for attendance at district-related events. The district is also required to provide for the superintendent's membership in 2 professional organizations. The board seeks to amend the superintendent's employment agreement as it relates to the term of the agreement and the superintendent's salary. The proposed amendment extends the superintendent's contract for 1 year, setting the termination date at June 30th, 2023. Each year, and only upon a satisfactory evaluation, the superintendent's employment agreement will renew for an additional year. The amendment also sets the superintendent's salary for the 2021-2022 school year at $292,710, and for the 2022 and 2023 school year, his salary is set at $1,492,000, which is the equivalent of a 3% increase from the prior year. All other terms of the employment agreement remain unchanged. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Moved by trustee Moreno.
Second.
Okay. Second, trustee Schwant. Any discussion? No discussion. Okay, calling for a vote. Trustee Wilson.
Aye.
Vega, Dr. Dorado has something.
Sorry.
Sorry, I didn't want a brief comment. I just wanted to say that I've seen tremendous growth in the last. I was elected about almost 4 years ago, 5.5 years ago.
Sorry, I cannot hear you. I don't know if it's anyone else, but
It's very low.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Can you hear me better now?
A little
A
bit.
little bit, yeah.
Oh, no. Okay, that's awful. I did go off screen, hoping that everybody.
There you go.
There you go.
Yeah.
Good. I'm a little bit screaming here on the other end. So I just want to say that in the last 3 years that he has been here, I know there's been tremendous growth. So I wanted a just brief comment about that. He has shown how devoted he is as a servant leader to our district. And in the last year through COVID, I think he has just shown above and beyond. In my personal, that's speaking on my behalf, that he has shown how devoted he is to our district. He's made really great decisions for our students and community, and I am really happy to that this came forward. So that was my brief comment. Thank you, Dr. Mustorino.
Thank you, trustee Dorado. Okay, going back to the vote then. Trustee Wilson.
Aye.
Trustee Schwant.
Aye.
Trustee Moreno.
Aye.
Trustee Dorado.
Aye.
and myself is an aye. Motion passes. Moving on to our administrative services, conduct public hearing, adoption of findings, and award of agreements for implementation of the AUSD Energy Infrastructure Modernization Program. So this is the public hearing. So may I have a motion to open the public hearing?
Moved.
Moved by Trustee Schwant.
Second.
Second, Trustee Moreno. Any discussion? No. Okay. Trustee Wilson.
Aye.
Trustee Schwant.
Aye.
Trustee Moreno.
Aye.
Trustee Dorado.
Aye.
And myself is an aye. That opens up the public hearing. Dr. Mussolino, do we have anything for this public hearing?
We do not, Madam President.
Okay, thank you. In that case, I will call, I'll ask for a motion to close the public hearing.
So moved.
Moved by Trustee Schwant.
Second.
Second, Trustee Wilson. Any discussion? No? Okay. Calling for a vote. Trustee Wilson.
Aye.
Trustee Schwant.
Aye.
Trustee Moreno.
Aye.
Trustee Dorado.
Aye.
And myself is an aye. That closes the public hearing. Moving on to number 2, adopt resolution number 56 to make certain findings and approve agreements for implementation of the Alvord USD Energy Infrastructure Modernization Program. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Move Trustee Wilson, second Trustee Moreno. Any discussion?
Excited.
No? In that case, calling for a vote. Trustee Wilson?
Aye.
Trustee Schwant?
Aye.
Trustee Moreno?
Aye.
Trustee Dorado?
Aye.
And myself is an aye. Motion passes. Moving on to educational services. Presentation 2021-2022 proposed adopted budget and 2021 through 2024 local control accountability plan and annual updates. So I will hand it over to Dr. DeVore and Dusty for the presentation.
Yes, hi, good evening, thank you. I will just need to have permission to share my screen, please.
Try it, Dr. DeVore. You should be able to.
Thank you very much. All right, so good evening, President Vega, board members, Superintendent Mussolino, cabinet, and members of the audience. Thank you for the opportunity to speak to you tonight in regards to the 2021-2024 Local Control Accountability Plan. Over the last year, I provided you updates on the LCAP process, timeline, and requirements. This process has also included stakeholder input that has influenced this LCAP that I am sharing with you this evening. I'm going to share with you the specific metrics and actions that will directly impact the progress in Alvord's LCAP. Following my presentation, Dusty Navat, our Chief Business Officer, will discuss the fiscal implications of the plan as it relates to the annual budget. It is important to note that the intent of the Local Control Accountability Plan. This plan is principally directed to support our unduplicated student count. Per Ed Code 42238, an unduplicated student count means that each student is counted only once, even if the pupil meets more than one criteria of being an English learner, low income, or homeless and foster youth. The primary intent is to provide increased and improved services, staff, and resources to these students in having the most successful opportunity towards a well-rounded education. Currently, Alvord USD has 77.95% of students considered unduplicated, with a breakdown of 75.27% as low income, 24.91% as English learner, 3.5% as homeless, and 0.53% as foster youth. I am honored to share this plan has taken a great consideration on how to best service all students within this plan with the principal focus of our unduplicated student group. As I have shared in previous updates, there are 3 broad goals to address student supports within this LCAP. Ms. Navat will share more specifics about the fiscal components in her next presentation. But for context of the overall amount to support the LCAP is $45,312,538. I've included on this presentation the percent of each goal that has accounted for these funds. Goal number 1 is conditions of learning. In this goal, students will be enrolled in a comprehensive course of study taught by highly qualified staff in schools that are clean and in good repair. This goal encompasses 32.48% of the overall LCAP allocation. Goal number 2 has the highest percentage of funds with 49.46%, as this goal is specifically directed towards students being college and career ready when they graduate from an Alvord high school. Last is goal number 3. Goal number 3 is 21.57% of the LCAP and has a goal that students will be educated in an environment that fosters school connectedness and is inclusive of students, parents, and staff. Each of these goals have specific actions and/or services provided in ensuring the success of each goal. However, actions and services do not stand alone. They are based on metrics or measurable outcomes. To support the needs of goal number 1, we use metrics to identify how we will continue to offer a comprehensive course of study with highly qualified staff in schools that are in clean and in good repair. This is measured through a local education agency reflective local indicator tool of our basic services. These services include proper credentialing, students with access to adopted materials, and site facilities inspections of good or exemplary. We also use a local education agency reflective local indicator tool to identify the implementation of state standards. This, along with the basic services, was shared with you in a public meeting back in March. In summary, the rating scale is used to not identify how well we are doing, but rather an identification of the stages of implementation in the areas of instructional materials, policy and program supports, engagement of school leadership, professional learning, and implementation of state standards. Alvord recognizes how a comprehensive course of study includes study beyond academic content. We have included metrics to include both an increase of participation in the area of athletics and visual and performing arts. In addition, we have provided a metric on ensuring that we have broad elective offerings at our middle school levels. As shared earlier, goal number 2 is the most robust in ensuring our students are prepared for college and career readiness upon graduation from our Alvord high schools. This includes metrics at the state and local levels. Traditionally, the metric was supported through the use of state assessment data, also known as CAST. Due to CAST not being required in 1920 and selecting to use local measures in 2021, these academic indicators are not as readily available. However, these indicators will remain as state academic measures as they will return in future years. Therefore, we have also included additional local academic indicators as a measure of grade level mastery in preparation for high school graduation. This school year, the purchase of iReady has provided a consistent district-wide measure of language arts and mathematics for grades kindergarten through 12th grade. Having this data in absence of the state data has proven invaluable. These metrics are also broken down by various student groups to communicate how we are closing learning gaps between our unduplicated student count and other students. English learners are a principal group supported by the LCAP. You will notice metrics to support the growth of our English learners and our reclassification rates. In ensuring our students are college and career ready, advanced options are made available through progress or advanced placement scores, UC-CSU A through G course completion, CTE completion, early assessment program, college ready rates, and FAFSA supports. Last is goal number 3, in providing in an environment which fosters school connectedness, and is inclusive of parents, staff, and students. The actions and services of this goal are strongly aligned to the level of engagement of our school community. This includes engagement as measured by our attendance, our discipline, our dropout rates, and school climate surveys. It is essential in the development and the adoption of the Local Control Accountability Plan that improved and increased services are provided to our unduplicated student count. This plan explicitly provides an explanation of how the needs of these students were considered first and how these actions are effective in meeting these goals for the students. This narrative was provided using 8 general themes of a safe learning environment, mental health supports, culturally responsive teaching and learning, school engagement, homeschool partnerships, college and career readiness, language acquisition, and differentiated instruction. After assessing the needs, conditions, and circumstances of our unduplicated students, we recognize that having a safe learning environment is a key indicator of staff, students, and families. Alvord stakeholders continue to prioritize the needs of safety for our school community. This is supported through the addition of our school resource officers, campus supervision, and assistant principals. In addition, expanded learning is provided to allow our unduplicated students a safe learning environment for them to extend their learning time and receive additional supports and resources after the traditional school day has ended. Mental health supports include increased and improved services with counselors that we have in our district to provide mental health resources in support of accessing learning. Foster homeless outreach supports directly impact ensuring support for these families, and also our teen parent program in North Vista High School supporting our teen parents in graduating from high school, receiving healthcare and childcare services, and assistance in the development of post-secondary goals, including parenting. Culturally responsive learning and teaching addresses the needs of our multi-ethnic student and community population. Alvord services students who are 80% Hispanic or Latino, 8.7% white, 3.8% African American, 3.7% Asian, 1.5% Filipino, 1.4% 2 or more races, and 0.5% Pacific Islander, and 0.2% American Indian or Alaskan Native, and those not reported. School connectedness and engagement is a direct correlation with student attendance rates. By providing athletics, VAPA, and Cadet Corps as some examples, our students are engaged in learning through a vehicle of their personal interests and passions. 6 of our elementary schools are provided transportation to allow for our students to get to campus safely and ready to learn. Physical education at our elementary level not only provides students an impact of physical education program, but it is also part of our multi-tiered system of support by allowing time for teachers to work collaboratively in reviewing student performance on mastering content standards, research best instructional practices, and modify instructional approaches for our unduplicated students. The closures of 2019 through 2021 highlighted the need of supporting our low-income, foster youth, and English learners in having equitable access to technology to ensure barriers towards their learning are minimized. Technology is and will continue to be an integral part for our students to have improved connectivity and access to devices, thereby increasing their interface with and through one-to-one technology in preparing our students for the 21st century and capabilities. Communication with parents about school is a key indicator of families as measured by our 2021 California Healthy Kids Survey. Families want to ensure positive attendance by feeling part of the school community. This plan continues to support this partnership with multiple family engagement workshops and methods of communication, including Parent Square, Blackboard, and the Aries Parent Portal. As shared earlier with our measurable outcomes, college and career readiness continues to be a driving force of success for all of our students. We have included supports in the areas of AVID, CTE, CSTEM, FAFSA, summer school, and more. Alvord is committed to providing equitable opportunities for our students to acquire language and to narrow the gap between English learners and non-English learners. This plan includes increase and improved services through LCFF English learner site allocations, English learner supports from our district office, and of course, our successful DLI program. And lastly is the area of differentiated instruction. Improved and increased services is all about finding better or more ways to provide services to our unduplicated student count. Through differentiated instructional supports, our students have various ways to access learning. This is achieved through our intervention supports, our literacy teachers, our gifted and talented education program, assessment, and low-income allocations for additional site needs. Tonight, you're going to be opening up a public hearing for the 21-24 LCAP, along with the proposed adopted budget. The public notice for this hearing was posted on May 20th, and the documents were made available for public review on May 28th. The documents included the Local Control Accountability Plan 21 to 24, the Local Control Accountability Annual Update for the year 1920, which was also in partnership with the 2021 Learning Continuity and Attendance Plan, the Federal Addendum, the Budget Overview for Parents, and then the 2021-2022 budget that Dusty Navat will be speaking of, with your final approval from the board happening on June 17th. As I shared last month, the Riverside County Office of Education has supported us through this process to ensure a successful plan to support our Alvord community. After board approval, Riverside County Office of Education will conduct a compliance review to ensure that all state requirements are within this plan. This will then be followed up by an additional review of the educational services portions and the fiscal requirements to ensure all are properly addressing the needs of our unduplicated student count. So now in conclusion, I want to say thank you for your time, and Dusty Navet is going to be sharing her presentation on the budget.
Thank you, Dr. DeVore, and I got this big binder of all the work that's been put into this, so thank you. So we'll take it to Dusty, and then if we have any questions from the board.
Can everyone see that? Excellent. Okay. It's my pleasure tonight to present just a very brief summary of the 2021-22 proposed budget. That this is just for the public hearing on June 17th when we actually bring back the actual budget for adoption. It will be a more comprehensive presentation and much more detailed. Just to give you a
sorry, Dusty, I think yes. We're seeing the next slide also. We can make it a little bigger. Not sure if everyone can see this slide.
Let's see if I can fix that. Hold on just a minute. Let me see what I can do to fix that.
Yeah, Dusty, choose slideshow up in your.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, it didn't. Okay. Try that first. Because you're on the presentation, model.
Okay, let's see if I fixed it. I don't know. Does that work?
Yeah, that's bigger.
Better?
It's better, yes. Not sure if everyone else can see it. Just want to make sure.
That's bigger.
Okay. All right. So this is the sort of an appetizer or teaser of the proposed budget that will be adopted next in 2 weeks. So just to give you a reminder of what the approval timelines are, districts are required to have their their proposed budget adopted by the board no later than June 30th. The budget then will go to the county for their review and approval by August 15th. There is a public hearing requirement. Typically that happens with the LCAP and prior to the actual adoption. Hence, we're doing that tonight. The actual adoption of the budget will happen on June 17th. Included in the proposed budget is both a recap of and a current projection of our 2021. First interim, second interim, we now call that estimated actuals. So it is our last attempt to see how we're going to end the year. Then it also includes, for all of our district funds, the proposed budget for 2020, 21, 22, and the multi-year for the general fund, which is going into 22, 23, and 23, 24. It's very hard to imagine that we were already getting all the way down there. Then in August, I will be bringing back to you a 45-day update because, as you know, this document is prepared several months in advance of when the governor proposes the state budget, and the legislature is still working on all of those negotiations. And so there is some data that is included and some data that will come back to the board in August. So some considerations that were included when this budget was developed is the local control funding formula and the COLA, or the cost of living adjustment for that LCFF. So you may have heard in some of the publications that have come out, the super COLA that is being talked about, or the mega COLA. That is a accumulation of several different cost factors. One is the statutory COLA, or cost of living increase, of 1.7% for the 21-22 year. That is calculated by the state, has many factors that come into it. The governor is also proposing to make up the 2.31% COLA not given to us in this year in 2021. As a reminder, we got 0. Then there is a proposal on the table to include an additional 1% for just LCFF dollars. The proposed budget was put together with both the 1.7, the 2, and the 2.31. The 1% was not included because I did not know about it in enough time to put all of the documents together. The budget also includes the Expanded Learning Opportunities Grant, or the ELO grant, that the board approved last board meeting in the approximate amount of about $20.5 million. It is broken into 2 different components, $9.9 million in 2021, $10.5 million in 21-22. We also will still have some cash deferrals for 2021. The state is maintaining that February to June deferral. They will pay us back next year, which is why we took out the TRAN, or that tax revenue anticipation note, of $45 million. So we did that. Next year, they're only going to defer just June of 2022. For us, that's about $13.8 million. Couple of other proposals on the table and still in negotiation between the governor and the legislature is a program called Universal TK, or Universal Transitional Kindergarten. The proposal is to have all 4-year-olds be eligible for school when they are 4. It's the proposal on the table is to give us 21-22, the year 2 plan for it, and to have it be a 4-year phase-in. That's the governor's proposal. The legislature proposal actually is a 3-year phase-in. And so basically, instead of us having kindergarten through 12th grade or 13 years of education, we will have 14 years of education. And all 4-year-olds will be eligible for both education as well as attendance and ADA revenue generation for us. I'm still waiting on spending assurances and approved plans for several of new federal Corona Relief Grants, or CARES Act dollars, ESSER 2, GEAR 2, and ESSER 3. I have 2 amounts, $18.1 million for our ESSER 2 dollars, Gear 2, we're still waiting on the budget allocation from the state, and then ESSER 3 has come out at $40.7 million for Alvord Unified. I have not included these in the budget yet because there are spending assurances, and we have not brought an approved plan to the board for approval yet. So that's still in the works. There's also a proposal to change the LCFF calculation, which has a direct impact to the LCAP that Dr. DeVore just presented. One of the proposals is to change the percentage for the concentration piece from 50% to 65%. The legislative proposal is actually to change the supplemental from a 20 to a 23.3%. And I know that's really technical. It all has to do with the LCFF. It would give us more money, but there are some very directed services that have to generate with that. The reason these two proposals are so very different is not all districts get concentration dollars. You only get concentration dollars if you have an unduplicated pupil count of greater than 55%, which you know that we are at 77 and 80%. So those are still a wait and see. There's also some other proposals based on the whole state budget of the May revise. I've outlined them here. Lots of one-time dollars, community schools, targeted grants, classified food service, employee training, all one time, all still being proposed and negotiated between the governor and the legislature. So what are the building blocks that got us to the 21-22 proposed budget that is the public hearing for tonight? Well, we start with staffing because that is over 85% of our total general fund budget. We have 953 certificated FTE that support our educational programs. That includes 24 new positions that are supporting learning loss for the next 2 years is the proposal. That is 3 early literacy teachers, 14 early numeracy teachers, and 7 intervention teachers at all of our secondary sites. There are 626 classified full-time equivalent positions, 81 management positions, and included in staffing are the negotiated salary advancements, retirement and benefit rates, all the numbers that I have to assess as we're going through and doing all of our staffing. We have fully budgeted for full person in-person instruction for 21-22. So that means we're back up on subs, extra duty, coaching, all of those different costs that are associated with the overall staffing that support the educational programs of Alvord. We've also fully restored our supply budgets, our technology, our contracts, all of those items that over the last 14 months I have brought to you as savings. Those now have all been rebudgeted at the appropriate amounts. The proposed LCAP goals and actions, that $45 million, is 100% included in the budget, and it was a collaborative effort between educational services and business services as well. We also have the ELO grant, which I mentioned, the $20.5 million, which is the Expanded Learning Opportunities Grant. So all of those are some of the building blocks that went into the expenditures of the proposed budget. On the revenue side, those building blocks do start with our LCFF or our local control funding formula. As I mentioned, we have the 1.7 statutory COLA for 21-22, as well as the makeup COLA or cost of living adjustment of 2.31 for 2021. The ELO grant is in there. All of our CARES Act dollars up to this point have been spent. And so the $22 million for the CARES Act that have gone in 1920 and 2021, those are now fully spent. Our federal programs include our title programs. State revenues include our unique educational grants, lottery, mandated block grants, some of those kind of things. Local revenues at this point are our special education dollars, or AB 602, which is the assembly bill that redid the funding mechanism for special education, and interest earnings. Okay, so this is what the proposed budget looks like right now. We have a $248 million revenue budget, a $255 million, almost $256 million expenditure budget. Transfers out will be just a little over $1 million. The additional $10,000 is part of a transfer into deferred maintenance that will start setting aside dollars to maintain our athletic fields within the LCAP plan as well. Our estimated beginning balance for 21-22, which is the ending balance for 2021, will be estimated at $34 million, which is a larger amount than you have seen in the past, but a lot of it has to do with the fact that those ELO dollars had to be brought in 2021. Reserves are maintained at our 3%. We have additional dollars of almost $12 million that we can now hold and use for future purposes based on board directives. The other component of the 21-22 proposed budget, of course, is the multi-year considerations, which we put all of those datas and criterion factors in place to estimate where we think we will be for 22-23 and 23-24. That is enrollment, ADA, staffing due to those things, those negotiated automatic step increases, minimum wage, changes in utilities, health costs, property liability insurance, all of those things that go into what we know right now that will give us the numbers for our multi-year projections. And that is what this looks like. So the first column, 21-22, is the proposed budget right now that is being brought forward. 22-23, we will maintain our 3%. And while we are deficit spending, part of that is because we have to spend some of those ELO dollars in 22-23. In 23-24, you'll see our deficit spending of 4.4 decreases, and a lot of that has to do with where our last SERP payment will be in 22-23. So that is a savings of over $2 million to the district. And so we're working on all of that. We still maintain our 3%. We have a little extra even out at 23-24. Keeping in mind that there are COLAs, cost of living adjustments to our revenues included in these projected numbers. Additionally, this slide just shows what the estimated actuals or the projected ending fund balance for 2021 is, and then the proposed ending fund balances for the proposed budget for 21-22. Our next steps will be for bringing the actual final proposed budget to the board for adoption on June 17th. That will include another presentation from me on a more comprehensive level. There will be a 45-day update at the August board meeting, and then we would expect to receive approval of our 21-22 budget by August 15th from Riverside County Office of Education. And that's just a little appetizer for the 21-22 proposed budget.
Thank you so much, Dusty. Didn't see this in the attachments for the agenda. Maybe I missed it. I'm not sure it was there, but if I can get a copy of that, that'd be great. I see that Trustee Dorado has a question. Her hand is raised.
Yes, thank you. Dusty, that was a lot of information, despite it was just a little snippet, right? So my question is here, it looks like we're going to be getting a lot of new money coming in. And then you did mention that end balance was a little bit higher. I did note that in one of your slides, but then I didn't on the 3-year projection. I don't know where that end balance went. But I did want to say is, these timelines are pretty close together. And there's a lot of grants and there's a lot of one-time monies. And some of them, it sounded like they're restricted, right? You have to propose the way you're going to spend it. It has to be very specific. How do we have to have that by June 17th, by August? How will the board be involved in the direction of all these one-time monies? It's a lot of grants. We have an end balance. We have a super COLA. Can you kind of have explain that a little bit more?
Yeah, Dusty, just before you take that, let me remind the board that we will have a workshop between this meeting and the official approval. That'll be a special, which would be the opportunity, of course, to look at all these in depth. This is the public hearing and the opportunity to put it out there. But given that, Dusty, would you please address Dr. Dorado's questions?
Absolutely, great question. So I'll take the the restricted dollars and do we need to come up with a plan by June 17th? The answer to that is no, which is one of the reasons why I did not include it in the budget, because it has not come to board yet. We do have to have a very definitive spending plan, and that will all be based on board direction. And so I wanted to just let you know the overall, like you said, it's a large dollar amount. We do need to figure out how we need to spend those. There are some ending dates for those, September of 23, September of 24. So we do have some time to be able to put those plans together. The good news is we can go all the way back to March of 20 when schools closed. And so it is a very broad spectrum of time for us to put those plans together. So those, I very specifically wanted to just let you know that it is a big pot of money, but I did not include them in the budget because I would not presume how you want to spend those. As far as the super cola goes, or mega cola, that's what the that's what's been put out in the press. And so I wanted to use those words very intentionally so that in case you had heard about them, you would know that that is what we are talking about. It is just a combined cost of living increase specifically directed only to our LCFF dollars. And so by law, we have to have the statutory COLA. That is only 1.7% for based on the gross product and the whole state calculation of that. So 1.7 is what is required by the governor to give school districts under Prop 98 for our LCFF dollars. The economy has recovered sufficiently that they are now giving us back that 2.31 and adding that onto it. So that starts talking about that super COLA. The additional 1%, which the governor, we didn't know about in January, now we know about in the May revise, will be voted on by the legislature and is again only on our LCFF dollars. So there are lots of other different, all of those grants that we have will get the statutory COLA, may get the makeup COLA, but will not get that additional 1%. And so I structured it so you would know there's 3 different components that are making up what people are calling the super COLA, because it's not just the normal COLA that we're used to receiving on a regular basis.
Thank you. And I think the last part on that question was just that multi-year slide. I don't know, you had one on slide 10 that you said, hey, look, this 12 million end balance. Can you, maybe you just went a little bit too quick on that slide. Do you mind just for clarification purposes, explaining where that went on the multi-year? Or I don't know if you want to show the slide again or.
Sure. Yeah, let me just think.
Answering the other questions though,
Of course. I think you're talking this slide, Dr. Dorado?
Yes, so so where did the 12 million, so can you go to the 12 million,
over here?
Oh, okay. Can you go to a previous slide, please?
I can. I'm guessing maybe
this one here.
This one. Okay. So
restricted and revenues balances right there. The right here. Oh, okay. That's just this year here.
So this is the 21-22 proposed budget broken down the general fund by unrestricted and restricted. Just the 21-22 proposed budget broken down by unrestricted and restricted. So these totals here in the total column now become the first column over here in the multi-year. So it is the basis for moving forward into the next couple of years.
Sorry, I think you lost me where there was in the previous slide, see that end balance of almost 12 million right here on the bottom.
Uh-huh.
And then that wasn't the way the first year ended on the multi-year, right?
So the ending balance here is really 26 million.
Oh, okay. Yeah, which is
big. The 26 million has 3 different components on this slide. One is our required 3%. One is 6.7 million, which is restricted dollars, can't spend them on anything else. And then the 11.7 million is the additional over the 3%. that is available for the board to direct for future years.
Okay, so can you show me the multi-year again?
Yes. So then this 26 million here is the start of the column. All of those three components, the 6 million and the 11 million, are part of this 18 million.
Okay, so then when we look at 23-24, that 5 million,
Yes.
that already includes the 3% reserve, or is that?
It is over and above the 3%. The 3% is the 7.4 right underneath.
Okay, well, yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's nice to not be so much, you know what I mean? That some balance is there.
It's nice not to have so many negative zeros.
Right.
Right?
Verifying that. And I think my only last question for clarification was for Dr. DeVore. And hopefully, I don't know if we're going to be answering that maybe later on. For the LCAP, I did see a lot of examples of how, you know, we're providing in addition to what we've done in previous year in addition. Would we be able to maybe get examples at a later workshop, Emily, on how, you know, for a specific category, we've already done something, but we're going in addition to what we've done. So in a lot of slides there, you did mention in addition to, you know, services that we've provided.
There's a couple ways to answer that, Dr. Dorado. First of all, you would say in addition to, because the LCAP is for improved and increased services. So the addition would be the increased service that we would provide students, not so much an increase from one year to the next. However, there is, and in the workshop with your request and with partnership with Dr. Musarino, we can provide you what the 17-20 LCAP plan and expenditures were as compared to this current LCAP that we're presenting.
Yeah,
we can provide that to you at the workshop.
Yeah, just to kind of see those comparisons, maybe to see if it's additional, you know, the additional staff that we're hiring, is it additional programs? Like, just I would like to see that comparison, you know, for our student community, where the additional coming in. Thank you.
Certainly.
Thank you for those questions, Trustee Dorado. Do any of the other board members have any questions or comments for either Dr. DeVore or Dusty?
I do have some, but I'll wait for the workshop. We can talk about it there.
I believe
agree. I'll wait. Yeah. We'll
Yeah,
wait for the workshop.
I think we're all looking forward to that workshop.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, board. And that
I would say, just as a comment, the preparation of the package for what we picked up, what we read through, very, very professional, very, very thorough. Thank you very much.
correct, thank you. So that was just the presentation. No action on that, but we'll move on to our public hearing for our 2021-2024 Local Control Accountability Plan and Annual Update. So if I can have a motion to open up the public hearing.
So moved.
Moved by Trustee Moreno.
I'll second.
Second, Trustee Wilson. Any discussion? Okay, put to vote. Trustee Wilson?
Aye.
Trustee Schwant?
Aye.
Trustee Moreno?
Aye.
Trustee Dorado? Oh, didn't hear you, but I saw you unmute.
Yeah, aye.
Okay. And myself is an aye. So that opens up the public hearing. Dr. Musarino, do we have any comments?
Thank you, Madam President. We do have a comment that I am happy to read.
Okay, thank you.
Good day, President Vega, members of the Board of Education, Dr. Musarino, members of the Cabinet, and guests. My name is Zoe Milkey. I am a member of the LPAC Parent Advisory Committee and have attended each meeting of the parent group and the Alvord conducted LPAC meetings. I have been a part of the Alvord family for many years now, as I have a sophomore in high school and 2 sixth grade students. I pride myself on being an involved parent. I know most of the board and cabinet personally, as well as teachers and staff throughout multiple schools and offices in Alvord. I state this for relevance as to what I am about to say. I listen. I get to know people. I build connections and learn. These are qualities I am, with the help of Alvord teachers, educating my children on as well. Those that know me know this to be true. Excuse me. I'm using my voice today not only for myself, but for other parents, students, teachers, and staff. It is important to know that the vast majority of people want the same things I want. Knowing how to ask properly for what you want is key. This is my goal today. I want more. That's a capital M, capital O, capital R, capital E for emphasis. I want more for my children and all children in Alvord. My goal is to have equity and equality throughout the district. Building the whole child is important to me. Those that know me understand that I am able to choose wherever I'd like my children to go to school. I choose Alvord. I believe in the community and those that support it. I want more for our students and families. Not everyone has a choice like I do. I speak for the people that cannot. I speak for those that do not feel they have a voice or an option. What does more look like? It looks like more arts and music in the schools. It looks like sports in the middle schools. It looks like assistant principals at each of the elementary schools. It looks like helping the disadvantaged students as well as the gifted ones. It looks like updated curriculum in mathematics and science. Are these options available to all the students of Alvord like they are in other parts of the county or state? To my sadness, no, they are not. Not like they should be and can be. Is Alvord trying? In my heart, I believe this to be true. I know that hard work. I know the hard work of the board and the district. I know the hard work of the teachers and staff. I know the hard work of the parents and students. I know what it looks like. I see it every day, year after year. I also know about the money it takes to make all that happen. I have educated myself as best as possible by attending budget meetings, learning about how the LCAP is funded and run. I also have done the math and realized how many line items need to be filled. I know the pie is only so big and the slices of that pie can only be a certain size. I am realistic to know all of my goals for Alvord might not be reached. I am, however, not unrealistic to think that most of these goals can be accomplished with reasonable expectations. The district and the board has asked for my opinion. I have and will continue to give it. Now is where I expect to be heard, listened to, and acted upon. Why ask the opinions of the parents and staff if nothing changes? My requests are not in left field. They are not unobtainable. My desires for the children of this district are not pie in the sky asks. They are reasonable. They are just. They are only what other children in the state are getting from their districts. To want a better curriculum and a reason to go to school each day is not an unreasonable request. That is what the arts and sports do for children. To want to teach the very best is what the teachers want. I feel I have made it very clear as to what I think is best for the families in Alvord, especially since I am a family in Alvord. The decisions about the Alvord families, the decisions about what Alvord families want and need is now left up to you, Board of Education. Please, I implore you, take the data you have seen, learn from mistakes of the past, see where the future is heading, and make your decision wisely. I know this is not an easy task. I have faith in you that you will do what is best for the Alvord students. I also hope you know I support you and wish you the best. Respectfully, Zoe Milken, parent in the Alvord Unified School District.
Thank you, Dr. Musarina, for reading the comments. I think this is the first time I hear comments for public hearings, so appreciate that, and we will continue asking for your opinion. So are those the final, that was it, right, for the comments? Okay. In that case, I will ask for a motion to close the public hearing. First, Trustee Wilson, second, Trustee Moreno. Any discussion? Yeah. Okay. Let's go to a vote. Trustee Wilson?
Aye.
Trustee Schwant.
Aye.
Trustee Moreno.
Aye.
Trustee Dorado.
Aye.
And myself is an aye. That closes the public hearing. Moving on to our next public hearing, our 2021-2022 proposed adopted budget. May I have a motion to open the hearing?
So moved.
Move Trustee Moreno, second Trustee Schwant. In discussion? No. Let's go to vote. Trustee Wilson.
Aye.
Trustee Schwant.
Aye.
Trustee Moreno.
Aye.
Trustee Dorado.
Aye.
And myself is an aye. It is now open. Dr. Mussolino, are there any comments for this public hearing?
No, there are not, Madam President.
Okay, in that case, I will ask for a motion to close the public hearing.
So moved.
First, Trustee Schwant, second, Trustee Moreno. In discussion? No? Okay. Let's go to a vote. Trustee Wilson?
Aye.
Trustee Schwant?
Aye.
Trustee Moreno?
Aye.
Trustee Dorado?
Aye.
And myself is an aye. That closes the public hearing. And this brings us to our last item on the agenda, or action items. Human Resources, approved personnel, order number 17-2020-2021. May I have a motion? Move Trustee Wilson.
And Moreno.
Second.
Oh, second. Oh, sorry, Trustee Moreno. Any discussion? No discussion. Awesome. Move to a vote. Trustee Wilson.
Aye.
Trustee Schwant.
Aye.
Trustee Moreno.
Aye.
Trustee Dorado.
Aye.
And myself is an aye. Motion approved. So that brings us to agenda items for future board meetings. Do we have any items from the board that they would like to add? Nope. Okay. I think we're just going to have that special meeting, the workshop for the LCAP. That brings us to a close. This is not our last meeting for the month. We still have one June 17th, so hope to see you there. But if not, please enjoy your vacation, your summer. And I adjourn this meeting at 7:58 p.m. Have a good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night, everyone. And congratulations again.